Emergency workers gave up Wednesday on any hope of finding survivors in the collapsed Florida condo building, telling sobbing families that there was no chance of life in the rubble as crews shifted their efforts to recovering more remains. The announcement followed increasingly somber reports from emergency officials, who said they sought to prepare families for the worst. At this point, we have truly exhausted every option available to us in the search and rescue mission, Miami-Dade Mayor Daniella Levine Cava said at a news conference. We have all asked God for a miracle, so the decision to transition from rescue to recovery is an extremely difficult one, she said. 8 more bodies were recovered Wednesday, bringing the death toll to 54, the mayor said. 33 of the dead have been identified, and 86 people are still unaccounted for. Miami-Dade Assistant Fire Chief Raide Jadallah told families at a private briefing that crews would stop using rescue dogs and listening devices but would continue to search for their loved ones. Our sole responsibility at this point is to bring closure, he said as relatives cried in the background. Unlike some collapses that create W-shaped spaces where people can survive, a pancake collapse, like the one in Surfside, tends not to leave livable spaces, Jadallah said. Where a pancake collapses, unfortunately it is a floor or a wall on top of a floor on top of a floor on top of a floor, he said. Typically, an individual has a specific amount of time in regards to lack of food, water and air. This collapse just doesn't provide any of that sort. Miami-Dade Fire Chief Aaron Cominsky said he expected the recovery operation to take several more weeks. The formal transition was to take place at midnight. Hours before the official change of mission, rescue workers, their helmets held to their hearts and their boots covered in dust, joined local officials, rabbis and chaplains in a moment of silence. The rabbis and chaplains walked down a line of officials, many of them sobbing, and hugged them one by one. A Miami-Dade fire helicopter flew over the site. As the ceremony neared its end, an accordion player unseen on a nearby tennis court played Aaron Copland's Fanfare for the Common Man, which was followed by a piccolo playing the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Firefighters from Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, the federal government and elsewhere were also present. On a tall nearby fence, families and well-wishers had posted photos of the victims, supportive messages and flowers. Firefighters hung a banner atop the fence that read, "Miami-Dade Fire Rescue mourns with you." Hope of finding survivors was briefly rekindled after workers demolished the remainder of the building on Sunday, allowing rescuers access to new areas of debris they hoped would contain voids or open pockets with enough room for a person.